by attending this remote area, division, or district speech contest, you agree to the privacy policy of Toastmasters International as well as the unassociated remote hosting service. Some of your personal information, such as name, image, and any shared messages, may be shared with other meeting participants and will be recorded by Toastmasters International, who may use the recording in the future as it sees fit. Your remote attendance hereby discharges Toastmasters International from all claims, demands, rights, promises, damages, and liabilities arising out of or in connection with the use or distribution of said video recordings, including but not limited to any claims of invasion of privacy, appropriation of likeness, or defamation. Please join me in welcoming our District Director, DTM, Anvisha Banerjee.
Hello, District 14 Toastmasters. Welcome to District 14 first virtual annual conference Beyond Limits. 2 days of unlimited fun and engagement. It is time to get your funny bone activated. And it is time to work those jaw muscles, right? Because we know what time it is. It is time for the humorous speech contest. To all the contestants, I wish you all the best. Coming so far in the contest, winning your club, area, and then division contest, you are already a winner. So just enjoy the experience of competing with the best of District 14. I would now like to introduce our District 14 Program Quality Director, Allegra Manigault.
Greetings, everyone. Today, our contest master for District 14 Humorous Speech Contest will be distinguished Toastmaster Linda Rogers. Linda joined Toastmasters 6 years ago. She is a member of 2 clubs, Athens Toastmasters and Classic City Toastmasters. She has served in various city club officer roles, along with serving as an area director twice. She is currently serving as Division E Director. Although many may think that Toastmasters is primarily targeted toward those still in the workforce, Linda has found it to be very beneficial even after retiring from the University of Georgia in 2016. Toastmasters has been a fantastic experience for her, and she regrets not having been exposed to it decades ago. Linda believes that everyone should seize the opportunity to experience Toastmasters and has found that empowering others to become the best they can be is an incredibly rewarding experience. Please join me in welcoming our contest master for this event, distinguished Toastmaster Linda Rogers.
Welcome to the District 14 Humorous Speech Contest. We are in for a treat. Our 7 contestants have been working diligently on their humorous speeches, and they are eager to share them with us. So let's get started. It has been confirmed that all of the contestants are eligible to compete. The contestants will speak in the following order. Contestant 1, Jatika Manigault. Jatika Manigault. Contestant 2, Gail Thomas. Gail Thomas. Contestant 3, Pam Kuhn. Pam Kuhn. Contestant 4, Deborah Collier. Deborah Collier. Contestant 5, Inde Kimbang. Inde Kimbang. Contestant 6, Linda Buckley. Linda Buckley. And contestant 7, Sherman Elliott Jr. Sherman Elliott Jr. Chief Judge, have the voting judges been briefed?
Yes, they have.
Timers, are you ready?
Yes.
Yes, I am.
Then let the contest begin. Our first contestant tonight is Jatika Manigault. Jatika, are you ready?
Yes, I am.
Do you see the timer?
Yes, I do.
Contestant number 1, Jatika Manigo, The Blind Date. The Blind Date, Jatika Manigo.
I have a really good friend, and her name is Gina. Gina and I have been friends for a long time, even though we are polar opposites. Gina is white, Republican, conservative, married with 2 boys, and she's from South Georgia. I am black, Democrat, liberal, divorced, 1 daughter, and I'm from New York City. And Gina and I have been friends for more than 30 years. But recently, Gina did something to jeopardize that friendship, that relationship. She actually did something that would break the very foundation of the relationship we shared for these 30 many years. Gina set me up on a blind date. Be afraid. Be very afraid. Contest master, fellow Toastmasters, and most welcome guests. Now, I love my friend. And the other day she said to me, honey, she always talks like that, honey, when is the last time you were on a date? When were the Clintons in the White House? It's okay, because I've met somebody and I think he would be perfect for you. Oh, okay, Gina, what does he look like? Well, see, he's my husband's cousin's co-worker's accountant. And his name is Alvin, and he's from Alabama. All right, what does he look like? Oh, honey, he's the sweetest thing. He gets along with his coworkers and his friends. You two would just be perfect together. Gina, what does he look like? And she said those 3 words that no single person wants to hear. Oh, Jatika, looks aren't everything. I could have her killed, you know. I know people. I'm from New York. She says, but you know, it's okay because I think the two of you would get along fine. And I kind of told him you were from the South. You told him I was from the South. Gee, you know I'm from New York. Yeah, I told him you were from South New York. South New York. That's Brooklyn. Okay, listen, honey. This is what we're gonna do. Let me ask, how do you say hello when you first meet someone? Well, that's easy. So, how you doing? And she looked at me and said, bless your heart. Now, let me just, what does that mean? What does that mean? I'm not quite sure when Southern women say that, what exactly they're trying to tell us. She said, this is what you have to do when you are trying to be Southern. You want to tilt your head to the side, smile, blink twice, extend your hand, and with the other hand, just kind of flutter and say, hey. Yeah, I'm definitely going to have her killed. I do know people. Gina, I don't flutter. I don't even know how to spell flutter. She said, it's easy, sweetie. Just listen carefully. Watch me again now. Tilt your head to the side. Smile. Blink twice. Extend your hand. Put your other hand up like over your heart and just say, hey. Okay, so I decided to go on a date. What? You thought I was going to say no? Saturday night rolled around, and I'm in my closet trying to decide, do I want to wear the black dress that makes me look sexy and exciting? Or do I want to wear the black dress that makes me look exciting and sexy. Yeah, it doesn't matter. I'll just wear a black dress. Who cares? So there I am getting ready for my date. Makeup is on, the hair is done, the girls are at attention. And I'm thinking, if it doesn't work out, I'll buy some popcorn and I'll stay home and watch a Law and Order marathon. And the doorbell rings. Here goes. I open the door, and standing in my doorway is this tall glass of hot chocolate, holding a bunch of yellow roses, my personal favorite. And in a voice that's a cross between Darth Vader and the Allstate insurance guy, says to me, "Good evening. You must be Jatika. I'm Alvin." Hey, contest master.
We will now have 1 minute of silence on the clock so the judges can mark their ballots. Our second contestant is Gail Thomas. Gail, are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Do you see the timer?
Yes, I see the timer.
Contestant number 2, Gail Thomas. Yes, I actually did that. Yes, I actually did that. Gail Thomas.
I'm what they call a woman of a certain age, but I know that's just a polite way of saying I'm old. They also say the older you get, the wiser you get. With age comes wisdom. I've even seen a character in a story described as a wise old woman. Well, when does that wisdom kick in? Because I'm getting on up there. And I am just as goofy as I've ever been. Sometimes my children call to tell me about something they've done recently. And if they start with, "Oh my gosh, I did a mom today," then I know I'm going to hear something like, "I locked the keys in my car. I looked all over the house for my phone. It was in my pocket. It was raining. I had to turn the radio down in the car so I could see better." Something like that. Fellow Toastmasters, honored guests, I'm going to share with you one of my doozies. At my church, when a child reaches the age of 12, they're invited to participate in confirmation. The guidelines state that a spiritually mature, knowledgeable adult will be paired with that child as a mentor. My pastor asked me to be a mentor. I suspect my gray hair tricked him into thinking I was wise and therefore spiritually mature and knowledgeable. Nevertheless, I agreed to be the mentor for Amanda. Amanda is a smart girl. She's funny, talented, but oh my goodness, that child is painfully self-conscious. She would have embarrassing moments several times a day when she was in middle school. She'd come to almost every confirmation class and share her embarrassing moment of the day. But one event that was particularly bad for her was an episode in the school lunchroom where she drops her tray and food splashes on one of the cool kids. Amanda's humiliated. She just knows everybody's looking at her and laughing at her for being clumsy. She tries to clean it up. She makes it worse. And then, in front of the whole lunchroom, she starts crying. She's crying, telling me about it. Now I'm sympathetic. I know how dangerous middle school lunchroom is. I've had 2 children. It's a war zone. It's filled with landmines of disapproval and sinkholes of judgment. But as adults, we all know that everybody has embarrassing moments. Some of us more than others. Sadly, we don't outgrow them. The best we can do is learn to take them in stride, or even learn to laugh at ourselves. I guess that's wisdom. So in my effort to help Amanda see that everybody has embarrassing moments, I decided I would tell her about a very embarrassing moment for me that had occurred just a few months before we started our classes. Here's what I told her. At Christmas, my children and I would bake cookies to share with our neighbors. It was a tradition we had enjoyed since my kids could stand in a chair and reach the kitchen counter. We had just moved into a new neighborhood, so that was the first Christmas we shared cookies with our new neighbors. It's Christmas Eve. My family and I are getting dressed to go to the candlelight Christmas Eve service at church. I had just finished my shower when I hear the phone ring. My husband, who, since it wasn't 5 minutes till we had to walk out the door, had not started getting dressed, answers the phone, and as I step out of the shower, I hear him say, "She's in the shower, but I'll tell her to call you when she gets out." So I wrap the towel around my wet head and go out to tell him I'm out of the shower. I can take the call. From the bedroom door, I can see directly into the den. I see his gray head. So I know he hears me, but he ignores me. So I go back in the bedroom and put on my glasses to start doing my makeup and fixing my hair. And again, I hear him say, "She's in the shower. I'll tell her to call you when she gets out." This time I go out to yell at him that I'm out of the shower, when I instantly realize the gray-haired man I saw before I put on my glasses sitting on the sofa is actually our neighbor Pete. Pete brought over a box of Christmas candy his wife made to thank us for the cookies we took them the day before. I screamed, ran back in the bedroom, slammed the door. I hadn't just walked out in front of Pete, completely naked, one time. I did it 2 times. And the phone call wasn't even for me. It was for my daughter, who was still in the shower. From that day until Pete and his wife moved out of the neighborhood, I couldn't look at him. I'd drive by his house and do this. My kids didn't enjoy cookie baking with mom anymore, so I just quit the cookies. But I did help Amanda see that indeed everybody has embarrassing moments. That was a doozy for me, but I've learned to take it in stride. I even laugh about it now. I have to. My husband tells that story every single Christmas. And poor old Pete. I guess he got more for Christmas that year than he was expecting. Thank you. Back to you, Contest Master.
We will now have 1 minute of silence on the clock so the judges can mark their ballots. Our third contestant is Pam Kuhn. Pam, are you ready?
Yes.
Do you see the timer?
Yes.
Contestant number 3, Pam Kuhn. Who knew? Who knew? Pam Kuhn.
2020 was a crazy year. One day we woke up and we were in the movie Mission Impossible. Dun, 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 dun. Your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to find a roll of toilet paper. Good luck. What? Toilet paper? Who knew? Okay, let's talk toilet paper. If you're like me, you used to spin the roll like you were on the wheel of fortune, but now you use it like you're cracking a safe. Saw a sign in front of a church that said, "Join us this Sunday. We have toilet paper and Jesus." Contest master, fellow Toastmasters, and everybody who is glad 2020 is over. Through it all, did you find yourself stressed, anxious, or depressed? Well, sit back and relax. And for the next few minutes, let's take a look at the lighter side and the lessons we learned from 2020. Starting with masks. When you're out and about, look around and find the cute, creative masks, the ones with pictures of puppies, kitties, smiley faces. It can brighten up your day. Plus, if you put a few drops of essential oils inside your mask, you can have a little aromatherapy going on, because good smells are important. And for all you ladies out there who like to save time and a dime, you only have to put makeup on the top half of your face. It's like a Zoom meeting. Party on the top, PJs on the bottom. Who knew masks could be our friend? Next, we have the slippery slope of social distancing. Signs in the stores say, "Be smart, stay at least 6 feet apart." But do you really know how to approach people, when to approach people, or if to approach people? Inquiring minds want to know. Wristbands. Wearing the green wristbands says, "All systems go. I love people. Hugs and handshakes welcome here." Wearing the yellow wristband signals, "Proceed with caution. It depends on my mood. Do you feel lucky?" Wearing the red wristband screams, "Warning, warning, prickly person alert. Stay back, way back." Who knew wristbands could be the answer to our social distancing dilemma? Now there are no questions asked, problem solved. Let's not forget about quarantine. How do you spend all that time alone by yourself and not go crazy? Do you binge watch random shows on Netflix? Yes. Do you take lots of naps? Yes. Do you clean the house? No. Only do the fun stuff. That will make you happier and the time will fly by. Happier. Activities like journaling. Let me share a few journal entries with you now. Met a spider today. Seems nice. He's a web designer. If you hold a glass of wine in each hand, you can't touch your face. The dog is looking at me like, see, now you know why I chew the furniture. Yes, Katie Bug, I do. And Mommy will be down there with you in just a minute. We have been through some tough times, but remember, hindsight is also 2020. What key lessons did we learn from last year? First, we learned to be thankful. Were you thankful for the many different colors of sweatpants and that they came in increasingly larger sizes? I know I was. Second, we learned to be resourceful, to make the best with what we had, especially when they closed down the beauty salons and we had to cut our own hair. Or not. Did you or someone you know have lockdown hair? Asking for a friend. And third, we learned to persevere. Not to give up, like the Energizer Bunny. Keep going and going and going. The lessons we learned were to be thankful, to be resourceful, and to persevere, to keep going. And we all know when the going gets tough, the tough know where to find toilet paper. And we even learned something else. We can use 2020 as a swear word. What the 2020? Well, that's a load of 2020. Abso-2020-lutely. Who knew 2020 would be so crazy? Maybe 2021 will be better. Contest Master.
We will now have 1 minute on the clock while the judges mark their ballots. Our fourth contestant is Deborah Collier. Deborah, are you ready?
Yes.
Do you see the timer?
Yes.
Contestant 4, Deborah Collier. Here comes the boom. Here comes the boom. Deborah Collier.
Here comes a boom. Here comes a boom. Here comes a boom. Here comes a y'all don't really want it now. Contest master, fellow Toastmasters, and honored guest. In getting ready for the humorous contest, I lowered the boom on the difference. Sometimes people think that funny and humorous are the same, but they are not. Funny is about laughter and jokes. An example, 2 pickles fell out of the jar and onto the floor. One pickle looked at the other and said, "Deal with it." The old lady walks into the bank and she asks the teller, "Could you please check my balance?" He says, "Certainly, ma'am." He walks from around the counter and he comes over and pushes her. Okay. So you get it. Funny. Now let's talk about humorous. Humorous has to do with the state of mind, deals with your experiences. Okay? And there are 2 types of humor. there's dark humor, and there's light humor. There is this picture of this young man who took a stand for justice by kneeling peacefully, and he was called unpatriotic. I have another picture of insurrection committed at the Capitol of the United States, yet they were called patriots. The amusing part is that the same leader that called this young man who peacefully knelt for justice unpatriotic, yet he labeled an unpatriotic act of resurrection on the Capitol as patriotic. Okay, state of mind and amusing. Let's go to light humor. You're looking at this sign, 15-minute parking. You're saying, 15-minute parking? That's not the humorous part. The humorous part is this sign is in front of the post office. Are you serious? What post office can you go into and you are in and out in 15 minutes? Oh my gosh. In my life, I have experienced humor. Well, my husband passed. He passed right by me on the way out of divorce court. But that was not the humorous part. The humorous part is the amount of child support that the judge awarded me. Are you kidding? Judge, this is amusing. Now, we all can experience humor, and I know that you have if you have been married or are married or dating, and then your loved one, says something real spiffy and doesn't apologize for it. And what happens is there's no talking, attitude, and you're saying, okay, what's going on? And later on, what happens? When the sun goes down, then all of a sudden, the mood changes. It's like, baby, do you remember when? And immediately there's like, I don't think so. Not today. Not only that, there's when a single mom is asked to be the best parent, be superwoman. She's raising children by herself, may not have enough food or enough funds to actually be the best parent that she can be. But it is amusing how it is expected still the same, that she doesn't need the support of not only finances, but of the community. That is pretty amusing since it takes a village to raise a child. So now what I'm going to ask you to do is, could you humor me? And on the count of 3, you help me sing, Here Comes the Boom, as we lower the boom now that we're at the end. Are you ready? A 1 and a 2 and a 3. Here comes the boom. Here comes the boom. Here comes the boom. Here comes the y'all don't really want it now. Contest master.
We will have 1 minute of silence on the clock while the judges mark their ballots. Contestant number 5 is Inde Kimbang. Inde, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Do you see the timer?
Yes.
Contestant 5, Inde Kimbang. I can't wait to lie to my kids. I can't wait to lie to my kids. Inde Kimbang.
Why are you always lying? Why are you always lying? Oh my God. Stop all the lying. Always lying to me. You're lying so much. You're making it hard for me. Fellow Toastmasters, distinguished guests, lying parents, and good-looking judges. To all of the bad parents in the room, please raise your hands if you've ever lied to your kids. Matter of fact, since I can't see you, flash your mics. Okay, I'm glad. At least a few of you are honest. Well, as for me, growing up in an African household, specifically in a Cameroonian household, there are certain lies that have become bread and butter within the community. I don't know if you've ever lied so many times that you genuinely begin to believe that the lie you told is the truth. And from me to you, I can't wait to lie to my kids. Growing up, whenever I used to ask my mother for a ride to school, she would tell me that you American children are so ungrateful. Back in my day, I used to trek 15 kilometers to school back and forth, barefoot. But you're asking me for a ride. Please leave this place. I would sit there and be confused because I knew that wasn't true. But questioning equals disrespect. And disrespect leads to a slap. We'll get into that later. Another thing that I was very confused about is how every single person ranked first in class. My mother was first. My dad said he was first. My aunts, my uncles, my grandparents. That brought up the first question. If everyone is first, what is the teacher-student ratio? And it got to a point where my dad, he told me that he was so smart that the professor would ask him to sit in the front of the classroom and lecture the whole class. So I said, okay, if you're that smart, why can't you help me with my simple algebra homework? This was in the 5th grade, and I asked my dad, this is how the question went. It said, if John is driving at 40 miles per hour and Mary's driving at 20 miles per hour, but John takes a break to get snacks and gas, who arrives first? My dad sat there. He was confused. I saw his face. He fixed his outfit. But as a typical African man, you never say you don't know. You just turn it into a lecture. So he said, first of all, why is your teacher giving you miles per hour when everywhere in the world they use kilometers per hour? Second of all, why did he not prepare and get his food before traveling and put gas in his car before traveling? They're teaching you students bad things, and I will not be a part of it. I was confused. But just know from that day, I never asked him for any homework help. Another thing that I was told while growing up, they say the truth will set you free. Well, that is a lie. The truth will get you slapped. When I was in the 4th grade, as a normal kid, I got in trouble sometimes. I was on the bus. I got suspended from the bus. They called my mom and told her. But I had perfected the great story of what I would tell her of what happened. But I got home. She said in her cute little voice, she used to call me Ndende. She would say, Ndende, don't lie to me. I won't beat you. I took the bait. So I told her the story. I told her, Mom, when I got onto the bus, my friend Matthew was in my seat, and he knows that's my seat. So I respectfully told him to please get up. He refused. I asked him again. He refused. So I took matters into my own hands and punched him across the face. And because I will not allow someone to disrespect me, Mom. Do you understand? See what just happened there? I just got slapped. That is the thing about African parents. They'll slap you so quick you won't even know. Mid-sentence, you just stand there looking like this, confused. And now what happened is when I went, the thing that was got me confused, I went to one of my other friend's house. His name was Billy. And when I would hang out with Billy, you know how awkward it is when you're at your friend's house when they're getting in trouble? But I was hanging out with Billy, and his mother, Karen, said, I hate that I have to do this to you, Billy. I don't know why you always get in trouble. And first thing that got me confused is never in my life has someone advocated for me before disciplining me. And also, I was confused. I was like, who is the one actually in trouble? But she continued. She's like, I'm sorry that I have to do this, but you know what, Billy? Go to your room. You're on timeout. Time out? Really? Never in my life have I received time out, except for my parents leaving some time out. Let me wipe my tears. Now, when I look back at all of this, I laugh. Matter of fact, it's more of an evil grin because I can't wait to lie to my kids. And the year 2020 and 2021 is an awesome opportunity for me to use everything that happened in this year to undermine all of the experiences my kids will go through. Because I survived a pandemic. When I see my children that are hanging out in the house too much playing video games, I tell them to hurry up and get your butt outside. Because back in my day, we were not able to go outside. Because if I did, I'd be arrested for breaking social distancing rules. And I'd probably die from catching COVID-19. Second of all, whenever I see my children being ungrateful, not acknowledging the great father that I am and all I do for them, I'll go to all of the rooms, quietly go into the bathrooms, take all of the toilet paper and say, back in my day, toilet paper was a luxury good. So now to every one of the current parents and future parents, whenever anything happens in your life, use those situations and put them in your mental cookie jar so you too will be ready to lie to your kids. Contest master.
We will now have 1 minute of silence on the clock so the judges can mark their ballots. Our next contestant is Linda Buckley. Linda, are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Do you see the timer?
Yes.
Contestant number 6, Linda Buckley. The people you meet at the gym. The people you meet at the gym. Linda Buckley.
In the beginning of the year, I made the #1 commitment. Eat healthy and go to the gym. Now, didn't you make that same commitment? You know, I was reading in the Atlanta Journal-Constitution that 95% of the people stop their New Year's resolution in March. I'm not one of those 95%. You know what I did? I changed my commitment date to April 13th. No one ever asked me, am I still committed? No one ever asks me if I'm on my journey. And I just tell them that I'm still committed. But I never tell them that I only been working out for 2 days, and that's my commitment day. You know, the other day I got this big envelope in the mail. And in this envelope was from the gym. And they sure gave me these get around to it cards. And they say, bring a friend, come and we'll give you a free membership. Well, I go to the gym and there were a lot of people there. Everyone's working out. And lo and behold, I see someone I know. Here come Miss Dolly strolling into the gym. She had on her gold headband. And you know, her workout outfit cost more than her gym membership. And boy, she had on her bling bling shoes. Now I knew she wasn't gonna work out in those shoes. Her makeup was there to a T. And she walked all the way around to the cardio room. She looked into the window. I tapped her on the shoulder. Are you going to work out? No, I don't sweat. She stood aside. I went into the cardio room and worked out. And I worked out and she just looked through the mirror and looked at us working out. 45 minutes later, we came out. We decided we were going to take a group picture. But lo and behold, here comes Miss Dolly, getting into our picture with her camera. Ta, 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 taking selfies. If she had worked out, I know. And then she had the nerve to put on her Instagram account, hashtag, good workout. I know none of you would have done what Dolly did. When you see Dolly and she's only looking in the window, let me know, because she's going to never work out. You know, I go ahead, have my workout on. Everybody's working out. I'm feeling good. And I look over to the right of myself and I see someone else I know. I said, who is that? Is that Olaf? Yes, Olaf. He's over there just working out, listening to his music, having a good time. And all of a sudden I hear, let it go, let it go, let it go. The last thing I wanted to hear, someone in the gym singing off key. I know none of you do that. When you have your headphones on, please don't sing, because more than likely, you're going to sing off key. I wanted to get away from Olaf and continue my workout. So that's exactly what I did. I continued my workout, but all of a sudden I heard something on the other side of the gym and it said, ow. I say, oh no, is that Brent? Ow. 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 Yes, it was Brent over there. Every time Brent comes to the gym, he makes more noise than anyone. And the more he lifts, the louder he gets. He just wants to show off and let everyone know that he can lift weights more than anyone else. I said, I don't even want to hear him. I'm leaving here. So I left, went to the other side of the gym. And as I was going to the other side of the gym, lo and behold, I saw someone else I knew. Is that Bread? Oh yes, that was Bread. Bread over there in the mirror, posing, flexing, taking selfies of himself, admiring himself. Oh, that's pretty boy Brad. Now, pretty boy Brad, he looked like he was posing for GQ magazine. I told him that he doesn't need to be here in the gym posing for GQ magazine. I thought people come to the gym to work out. If I knew all these people were here doing everything but working out, I would have stayed at home. So I continued my workout. And boy, I tried to hide. I looked straight ahead and I see Motor Mouth Mark. Oh my goodness. He see me And he comes straight to me. And he starts telling me about all the people in the gym. Now he say, Dolly over there, she never works out. She just come here to look pretty. And Olaf, man, he can't sing. He don't need to be in here singing. And Brent thinks he's the only one in the gym, but he's disturbing everyone. And Brad, pretty boy Brad, well, he don't need to come. He just need to go over there to the modeling studio. That's where he needs to be. I was tired of listening to him. I wanted him to leave, but he didn't leave. So I left myself. I told myself that all these people at the gym, they want to work out and they want to get in shape too. And sometimes when you go to the gym, you might see Dolly, the overdresser. You might hear Olaf, the singer, Brent, the grunter, Brad, the pretty boy, and Mark, the motor mouth. But they are all there wanting to do the same thing. Keep their commitment to get in shape and eat right. They're just like you and I, but all they need to do is change their commitment date. Contest master.
We will now have 1 minute on the clock while the judges mark their ballots. Our last contestant today is Sherman Elliott Jr. Sherman, are you ready?
Yes, I am.
Do you see the timer?
Yes, I do.
Contestant 7, Sherman Elliott Jr. Hard lessons learned. Hard lessons learned, Sherman Elliott Jr.
Some time ago, someone referred to me as a duffer. Duffer? So I looked the word up, duffer, noun, informal definition, a plodding, clumsy, incompetent person. Not me. Number 2, a peddler, especially one who sells cheap, flashy goods. Definitely not Sherman. Northern slang, U.S. slang, a person inept or inexperienced at a specific sport. Example, elderly man, a hopelessly bad golfer who plays golf once a week with his retired friends. Well, that's close, but bad golfer? I don't think so. Contest masters and welcomed audience, my story. I won, or should I say, I earned my first set of golf clubs at a poker party. I had never played golf in my life or even watched it on TV. I probably should have left those clubs with their losing poker playing owners, but they coaxed me on. Hey, you're an athlete, so take some lessons and come on out and play with us. I don't need lessons to play poker. Begrudgingly, I threw the clubs in the car and drove home. And reasoned, you got them, might as well learn how to use them and golf with your buddies, who I later learned were all seasoned golfers. Hard lesson number 1. I soon discovered that golf had many hard lessons to learn. Sure, I signed up for golf lessons. I can hit a jump shot and I can hit a man over the middle, but hitting this 1.5-inch ball is hard. The hardest lesson for me, and I'm still learning, is keeping my head down while hitting the ball. They say you can't hit what you don't see. So my friends coined me raisin heads for my big head popping up during my swing. So the question of the day is, how many scoops of raisins are in a box of Raisin Bran? The answer is not as many as Sherman's golf game. People have jokes, don't they? It was grueling and still grueling, but I finally started hitting that little white ball forward. But the hard lessons kept coming. Another hard lesson, learn the rules. Rule number 13, hit it as it lies, which means wherever your ball lands, you have to hit your next shot from that spot. I hit an awesome shot down the fairway. Wow. I'm patting myself on the back as we walk down the fairway until I see my ball has landed in a glob of duck poop. When I started to move it, my sore friend said, no, 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 you have to hit it as it lies. But I said, what? Or take a penalty stroke. This is the craziest thing. Remember, the lowest number of strokes win in golf. The next hardest lesson came very quickly thereafter. Always carry a golf towel, but you really need to carry an old filthy rag to clean the filthy debris off your ball once it reaches the green. Once on the green, you can pick your ball up and clean off the poop or mud before you putt it. But the hardest lesson happened later that day. I hit a beautiful shot and I see the ball fly over the creek running through the fairway. As I approach, I see my ball lying on the bank of the creek. Oh my. Though dejected, I proceed down the bank cautiously to hit my second shot. And all of a sudden, the ground gives way and I slide down the bank. I catch myself just before going in the creek. I get up, I compose myself and hit my ball and climb out of that hellhole, walking proudly toward the green. When one of my poker buddies laughed, "Hey y'all, come see what he done did on himself." I wore a brownish red mud from the creek from my butt down. Oh, they had a rowdy good time focused on my soiled pants and remind me every time we play that course. When I arrived home, my darling wife ran out to meet me in the garage. "Don't come in here until you undress in the garage. I don't want you walking through the house like that." "Hey, my pants are dry now." "Well, ring the doorbell when you want to come into my house." Blam! How did she find out? Those dirty rats. I'm sure there are more hard lessons to learn, but that day, the hard lesson that I learned was, you guess, pick the ball up and take a penalty stroke. And a more important lesson, don't wager with sore poker players on the golf course. I guess you now agree that I am a duffer, a plodding, clumsy, incompetent person playing golf with my retired golf friends. Contest master.
Please remain silent until the judges have finished marking their ballots. It is now time for the contestant interviews, where we get to learn more about these amazing speakers who have made us laugh with their humorous speeches today. I will be interviewing people in their contestant speaking order. First contestant today was Jatika Manigo with her speech, The Blind Date. Hey, Jatika.
Hi.
Thank you so much for participating today. How long have you been in Toastmasters, and which club are you representing?
This July, I celebrate 20 years of Toastmasters. I'm very proud of that. And I am representing Alpha 285 Toastmasters in Decatur, Georgia.
All right. I understand that your favorite quote is something from the play A Streetcar Named Desire. I have always relied on the kindness of strangers. Tell us why this quote appeals to you so much.
When I was 30 years old, I moved from New York City, a place where I was born and where I knew everything in every place, to Houston, Texas. I didn't know how to drive. I didn't have any family or friends in Houston. In fact, I didn't have anybody that I knew in the great state of Texas. And I realized that sometimes you have to rely on people to be kind, to be helpful, and to be there for you. I eventually learned to drive, and Houston has fond memories for me. I still have friends there. I still have family there, and I do that because I've known them ever since I moved there, and they're still friends. I still talk to them. But I think it's important that we open ourselves up to new adventures, new opportunity, get out of our comfort zone. And we have to sometimes rely on people being helpful that we don't even know.
I agree. Thank you. I enjoyed your speech. Looks aren't always enough, and bless your heart, etc. How did you come up with this speech topic?
I have a very good friend who I hope is watching the contest today, and her name is Gina, and she is a typical Southern belle, which, as I said, my polar opposite. She has said, "Bless your heart," and has said it with sarcasm and has said it with a smile on her face. And to this day, I've never been able to pull that off, and I think it's because I don't quite have the South in my mouth yet. I think beneath it all, I think I'm still a true Yankee.
I hear you. Well, I want to thank you for being a contestant today in the District 14 Humorous Speech Contest and to present you with a certificate of participation. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Second contestant was Gail Thomas, who regaled us with her speech. Yes, I actually did that. Gail, how long have you been a Toastmaster and which club are you representing tonight?
I'm representing Hostess City Toastmasters in Savannah, Georgia. Last year, I was in a book club at the YMCA. The leader of that book club mentioned one day that she was in Toastmasters, and I casually said, I thought about joining Toastmasters. Little did I know she was VP of membership. So the next thing I know, I'm at a meeting and here I am.
I understand. It's always important to invite people to your meetings and to sign them up right away. I understand that one of your interests is acting in and working with local theater. How has being a Toastmaster helped you in the theater setting, and how has the theater setting helped you be a better Toastmaster?
Well, I'm very diligent in learning my lines. So that has helped me in learning my speeches. I'm comfortable somewhat if I'm prepared, but I'm terrified of impromptu. So Toastmasters with their table topics is really helping me with that.
Yes, absolutely. In your speech, you mentioned with age comes wisdom, and also that you need to learn to laugh at yourself. That has benefited you in your life, I take it. Can you give us
yes.
examples?
Well, my speech was true. That really happened. I am unfortunately one of those that looks at the instructions really quick but doesn't read them really well, and end up messing things up. And I figure I'm 68. I don't know if that's going to change anytime soon. So I do a lot of laughing at myself.
I understand. Well, we want to thank you for being a contestant at the District 14 Humorous Speech Contest with a certificate of participation. Thank you so much.
Come on, give me a signal or something.
Thank you.
Next contestant who spoke tonight was Pam Kuhn with her speech title, Who Knew? And talking about the pandemic. Pam, how long have you been in Toastmasters and which club are you representing tonight?
I've been in Toastmasters since 2010 and I represent Thomaston Toastmasters.
I understand that one of your interests is organizing. How did you get started with that and what organizing tips can you give us tonight?
Well, I never knew I was an organizer until we got locked down last year and I didn't have anything else to do. I started looking around and thinking, yikes, yikes, look at this mess, look at that mess. I usually ignore it because I like to go outside and play or work in the yard or play pickleball, anything but clean the house and do what I'm supposed to do. Well, all of a sudden, I didn't have anything to do. So I started looking around and I just took one part at a time and started cleaning it up, straightening it up. And I really enjoyed that. I didn't realize that I would enjoy it, but I did. I have no trouble throwing things away. A lot of times people don't like to throw things away. They want to hold on to them. No, I'm the opposite. I'm like, you better catch it on the way out because it is going. It is going. So I just really enjoyed it. I just threw things out and cleaned things up.
You were just ready. It was that time of your life.
Absolutely.
Have you heard of Marie Kondo's book, The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up?
No, but I think I might need to check it out.
And one of her tenets is that is spark joy, which is basically if the item doesn't spark joy, you should get rid of it. And that's her barometer for deciding what to keep or not keep. But thank you so much for being a participant today, a contestant in the Humorous Speech Contest for District 14, and you will be receiving a certificate of participation. Thank you.
Thank you.
Our fourth contestant today was Deborah Collier, who regaled us with her Here Comes the Boom speech.
Hello, Linda.
Deborah, how long have you been a Toastmaster and which club are you representing?
I have been a Toastmaster off and on for about 19 years. And I'm representing 6600 South.
All right. And I understand that one of your interests is garage sales. Tell us why you like those so much and give us an example of some things that you have picked up at garage sales that now have a prominent place in your life.
Oh my gosh, I love garage sales. So I have my truck and it doesn't even have to be a garage sale. If I see something sitting out in front of somebody's house, I go and knock on the door. Do you mind if I rumble through this and put it back perfectly? And they usually say yes, but garage sales are to live for. You find all these wonderful, wonderful, wonderful treasures that somebody else may think, oh, it's junk. But no, it's a treasure. And I found so many great finds. So, but watch, I found this. which is my podium when I'm speaking at the garage sale. Oh my gosh, it was $3. I was like so happy. And what I do is if someone goes with me, I tell them, you go on that side and I go on this side. And then we'll just kind of like, you can reach over people. I'm tall. So I must say I use it to my advantage. And I reach over people, to get stuff. Okay.
And do you also go to estate sales?
Yes, I go to estate sales. I go to auctions. I go to carport sales. Oh my, let me tell you, go to the Goodwill in Buckhead. All right, that's one of the best ones. And then you want to go to the one in Dunwoody and the one in Sandy Springs. They are the three best. They have the books with all of the fabulous titles and furniture you've never seen before, but those are the three best, I promise you.
Well, thank you for that information. We thank you for being a contestant in District 14's Humorous Speech Competition with a certificate of participation. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Number 5 was Ende Kimbang. He gave us his speech, I Can't Wait to Lie to My Kids. Ende, how long have you been a Toastmaster and which club are you representing?
I've been a Toastmaster for 5 months, representing Athens Toastmaster Club 17-7.
I understand that one of your most recent notable accomplishments is becoming a landlord. Tell us about that experience.
It's interesting. It's like having kids, but they pay you. So that's definitely a big thing. Understanding people management and relationships, communication, that's that we have to do a lot.
All right, thank you. And tell us about your statement in your speech, the truth will set you free. Do you really think the truth will not set you free in certain circumstances?
Certain circumstances, the truth definitely does not set you free. I learned that growing up. As I mentioned in my speech, I got suspended on the bus. Happens, get in trouble. And I would have had the perfect explanation of why I got suspended, and the bus driver just not like me. I ate it all up, and I just would have been suspended. Okay, well, no, I told her the real story, and so it happened.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for being a contestant in today's District 14 Humorous Speech Competition, and you will be receiving a certificate of participation.
Thank you so much.
Six was Linda Buckley, who told us about the people you meet at the gym. Linda, how long have you been a Toastmaster and which club are you representing tonight?
I've been at Toastmasters for 15 years, and I'm representing the Real Toastmasters of Tucker.
According to your profile sheet, you are an author. Tell us what you have written and why you selected the topics.
Yes, my first book I wrote was Problem Solved, and that book represents my work. I work in the healthcare field, and I deal with families that have medical problems and also mental health problems. And as I was working in that field, there were so many problems that I was solving, helping people. So I said, I needed to put this in a book. And my title of my book is Problem Solved. And you can go to www.problemsolvedbook.com and get a free copy. And then I was on a group, and the Make It Matter project. And in that book, I wrote the title, Make Your Words Matter. And I chose those words because words do really have a great meaning. You can tear someone down or you can lift someone up. It's the words that you use. And with my Toastmaster experience, that's all I'm using are words. And my words, I want to connect with the audience. I want them to feel something when I give a message. So that's why I chose that make your words matter, because they truly do matter. And be careful. And usually what I do is I think before I speak, because your words truly matter.
Well, you most certainly used the appropriate words today in your speech to people you meet at the gym. As someone who herself has recently joined a gym, I recognized all of those personality types that you mentioned. Well, we want to thank you for being a contestant in today's District 14 Humorous Speech Contest with a certificate of participation.
Thank you, and you're welcome.
Our last contestant today was Sherman Elliott Jr., who regaled us with his speech, Hard Lessons Learned about Golfing. Sherman, how long have you been a Toastmaster and which club are you representing today?
I'm representing Genesis Toastmasters Club 95A. I actually was ordered to join Toastmasters back in 1977 when I entered the military. So I've played with Toastmasters on and off, and then when I moved here to Georgia, I joined again at Genesis, and that was back in like 1998 or similar time frame. And I've been off and on because other life priorities happen. But now that I'm back, I really enjoy the Toastmasters experience, but I enjoy mentoring young Toastmasters. That's the spice of Toastmasters. Even so much that Toastmaster has that as a project in all of the pathways. That's what I do.
Thank you. You wrote on your profile sheet that one of your favorite quotes is, "What a concept." Explain to us how you applied that to your golf game.
Oh my goodness. I derived that concept because it's the look that a young protege has when they finally grasp a concept that you're trying to explain to them to get the business of business done. But what a concept for me on the golf course is when I hit a great shot near the hole and I can one putt for either a birdie or a par. I've never had an eagle or a hole in one, but that's a concept, a great shot on the green.
And how else in your life have you applied this concept?
I apply it to mostly everything because, like I said, one of my habits or hobbies is mentoring. And to see a young child finally grasp something that they couldn't before by, taking the problem apart and putting it back together from where they learn to where they're going. And then you see that delight in their face and they're excited then. What a concept. And many of my proteges now use that same terminology.
Okay. Do you intend to play golf still going forward, even after your speech today?
Yes, I've had several invitations for tomorrow after church, and I play several times during the week. Since I don't have anything else to do, I'm retired, so I can play golf as often as I like. And my wife is a golf widow, which means she wants me out of the house as much as I want to be out of the house, so she can have her time to herself to go shopping and the like. So golfing is a way of life.
Well, thank you very much for being a participant in today's Humorous Speech Contest. We want to thank you for giving you a certificate of completion or certificate of participation too. But thank you for participating today.
Thank you, Linda. You're so kind. Be blessed.
This concludes the interview portion of this evening's event. I want to congratulate each of our 7 contestants and thank them for being contestants tonight, sharing with us their humorous stories. Without you, this event would not have happened and we would not have had a chance to laugh as much as we did. Thank you for competing tonight. Please welcome back District 14 Director, DTM, and Weisha Banerjee.
Hi, everyone. That was an amazing humorous speech contest. Wouldn't you all agree? I had a blast. I hope you did too. At this point, I know what everyone is eagerly waiting for. They are eagerly waiting for to know who the winners are. So why wait? And let's announce the winners for 2021 District 14 Humorous Speech Contest. The third place winner for the contest is Jatika Manigaw. Congratulations, Jatika. The second place for the humorous speech contest goes to, and all of you are guessing, it's Gail Thomas. And now the most anticipated one, who won the first place? And the first place winner for 2021 District 14 Humorous Speech Contest is Pam Kuhn. Congratulations! Congratulations to the first, second, and third place winner, Pam Kuhn, Gail Thomas, and Jatika Manigaw. You all did a wonderful job and you so deserve this. Now, before we end the humor speech contest today, we have a few other thank you to give out. First and foremost, I want to thank Linda Roger for being such an amazing contest master today. Thank you, Linda Rogers. I also want to thank the contest chair, Vivian Robinson, and contest co-chair, Yolande Berta, for working tirelessly behind the scenes for many months now to bring today this excellent, outstanding contest to you. Now, we will end the contest, but there's one more reminder. I want to remind that the show is not over for today. Please join us back at 9 o'clock for a live jazz performance and a 70s style dance party. We have learned, got educated, we heard all the speeches, we heard the keynote, and now it's time to unwind and enjoy some live music and dance it out a little. I hope to see you all at 9 o'clock. Till then, it's goodbye from District 14 Director Anvesha Banerjee.